So I wanted to do two different things in this video. Hopefully I'm not going to make it too long, but the first thing I wanted to talk about is kind of like the direction that I'm going to go with Arknights content, kind of give you guys a couple of ideas and get some feedback in the comments. And the second side is kind of the idea that I feel like I've been neglecting certain parts of the Arknights community. And let's go ahead and explain that one first. So I was talking to my girlfriend last night because I was watching a couple of my videos back, and I think that I'm starting to blur the line between like when I first started. I'll be 100% honest. I was like, I don't like tower defense stuff. I need to find something else to compel me. And so I watched the official trailers, the PVs, the music videos, and I was like, okay, this is enough because I can see where the story goes. I know the lore, the characters look really interesting. The devs obviously care. The community is super nice. Let's dive into it. And then I actually enjoyed the tower defense aspect of it. But what I'm talking about when it comes to blurred lines is the way that I explained it to my girlfriend is it's almost like whenever you introduce somebody to something new that you really love. So I'll use anime as an example. My favorite anime is Full Metal Alchemist. And let's just say one of you was like, hey, I don't watch anime. I don't care about anime. Anime is garbage. And I'm like, okay, let me give you the top 10 fights or cutscenes or whatever from Full Metal Alchemist. So then you decide, okay, you know what? I don't necessarily like anime, but I will check out Full Metal Alchemist because in all seriousness, it looks really cool. This story looks really fun. And you're like, oh, awesome. I finally got him to check out the anime that I like. And then he watches a couple of reactions, a couple more fights, you know, you're like, okay, maybe he's just trying to get a little bit more into it. And he maybe watches like the first like 4 or 5 episodes. And then he starts watching like the end game stuff, you know, like against the big baddie and what's going on. And you're starting to get an idea of like, okay, well, it doesn't really seem like this person cares about Full Metal Alchemist. They just like cool cutscenes. And they don't even really have a genuine response to a lot of the reactions, because they're just saying, okay, this is cool. That's an awesome fight. That's really fun. That's a good explosion. But it's like, why? The reason that I love this anime so much is because of the emotional tie between the main character and the big baddie and what's going on and why it all got to this point, which is why I showed the top 10 to hopefully get that person interested in order to have them like watch the entire series. And then we could talk about and react to things together, and it'd be a more genuine reaction. It'd be a lot of fun because now we know what's going on, and now we can, you know, talk about different ties and story concepts and all that kind of stuff. So that's where I think the line is becoming blurred, because the more time that I spend in the game, I'm on chapter 4 now, I feel like that line becomes blurred when I'm reacting to chapter 10 content, or I'm reacting to music videos or PVs that are like in the future with characters that I don't know about. And at first it's like, okay, he's just trying to get an idea of what kind of game this is. But now it's almost like, okay, well, you should probably stop reacting to that until you know these characters, because now it's not as genuine. It doesn't seem as entertaining, as engaging, because it's like you don't really know who these guys are. And I feel like I've become this person that's like, okay, well, this is cool, this is awesome. And it's a genuine reaction. I really do think that these things are really cool. They're compelling. I have a very limited vocabulary because I'm kind of dumb. So I do say cool and awesome a lot. That's just kind of normally how I talk. So it's not that I'm not interested in the content. I've been working my way through Arknights, but I think I'm going to slow down on the Arknights reaction, which kind of pivots me into the next part of projecting into a different way and kind of going through what I could say being a little bit more part of the Arknights community. And what I mean by that is just showing more gameplay and doing some more stuff that's like, hey, I'm here for a good reason. Like, I'm here to actually engage with the community, not just to react to all the cool stuff you guys have and then dip whenever the views get low. I want to be part of this. I want to be able to establish that I give a crap about Arknights, and I don't feel like those reactions that I was doing was really establishing that or portraying that. So I want to start doing the gameplay stuff. So this is going to be where I need your guys' feedback, because this is what I was thinking about doing for the story content. I know a lot of you guys like to see the gameplay, how I break it down, but I was trying to incorporate some way to do the story. A lot of people do streaming. I'm not able to do that right now with my current internet. Hopefully that's able to be done in like the next month or so. But until then, this is the structure of the way that I wanted to do it. So I was going to show like maybe 1 or 2 clips, not a full run or nothing, but just kind of like the most frustrating moments when I first introduced to a stage, and almost doing this like every stage of a chapter, because at the end, I'll tell you why. I'll show like, hey, here's the frustration. Here's kind of the gears moving so you guys can see what's going on with that. Then we'll do the normal, you know, here's what I finally came up with. Here's the breakdown of what I thought worked and why it worked. And then a comments telling me how I did it wrong. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, just going through like, here's what I did and all that kind of stuff. And then at the end, every time that you pass the stage, you get story. So what I wanted to do is take those, you know, 10, 15 minutes, read the story. These videos will be rather long. They'll probably be 20, 25 minutes. I know it's going to be kind of long, pushing it a little bit, but I wanted to kind of do like, here's my frustrations with the level. Here's kind of working through the gears, couple clips of that. Here's the full run. Here's what I got going on. and here's the story content of that specific stage. And then we can do that for each stage, and then we can start talking about the story together and stuff like that until I can do streaming. And then I'll kind of do the same thing. If you can't show up for the streams, you know, there are 3-hour streams or whatever, I will just cut it up that way as well, where you can kind of see the frustrations and stuff like that and get an idea of where I'm at in the story and my thoughts and perceptions on that. So definitely let me know in the comment. I know it's going to be a longer video. I think it's going to be worth it because I think it's packed full of some good content. But that's kind of the idea that I want to do. I want to go into the story. I want to go into the gameplay. We can also do that with like side missions and side stories and stuff like that as well, events and all that kind of stuff until I can start streaming. But that is the main trajectory that I want to go into. And then I can react to, you know, the chapter 4 PVs and all that kind of stuff that start to matter when I know all the characters and I know what's kind of going on. Now, I'm not opposed to reacting to different theme songs and music videos because I feel like that's kind of like portraying the character. So like the Myrtle and Duran one, I think that was a pretty good one to react to. Even though it's CN, I was able to react because I know those characters, and I think that was a pretty cool thing. So there are some things that I'll still react to, the closure files, all that kind of stuff, where it seems like relevant to what I'm talking about. I just want to be more genuine with the type of content that I'm making around Arknights. I don't want to make it appear that I'm just some dude that's just trying to show up and steal the show and move on. I really don't want to be like that because there's a lot of cool things that Arknights has to provide, and you guys have been really cool as a community, and I want to be able to give back and engaging and, you know, entertaining content and stuff like that. So that is the idea, and that's what I kind of wanted to talk about in this video. So let me know in the comments on the structure that you think that would work for that video, as well as any like thoughts that you guys have and stuff like that. But thank you guys so much because we're almost to 5K on the subs. So thank you guys so much for the support. I will see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your night, guys. Peace.